Well, hello again, my soul friends. As promised, I'm doing the meditation and soul reflection part for the full moon. Only I want to say that I got myself kind of bottlenecked because there were 3 different topics I wanted to do for the end of the year, and we're almost at the end of the year. So I wanted to do a year-end review. I wanted to do the full moon reflection. I wanted to do a winter solstice reflection, and also counting our blessings or our lessons and our blessings for this year, which kind of all felt like the same thing. And I thought, I don't need to do 4 videos, I'll do 1. So you may work with this for the full moon. You may save it for the end of the year for preparing to let go of 2021 and receive 2022 with an open heart, open mind, and a really ready soul, or whenever you need to. I think I'm learning doing these videos to not put a date or a concrete topic on that. I want to speak from a more universal anytime you need meditation. So nonetheless, use it for however you need it. I'll call it the end of the year full moon review, because as I said in my actually earlier video, the video about specifically the full moon in Gemini on December 18th, 2021, that, typically when we talk about a full moon, we talk about the culmination of the lunation cycle, and a full moon is illuminating what we've been working with, what intentions we set with the new moon, and what's been growing and what's been brought to our awareness. The full moon can really bring to light what we need to look at, that answered prayer. An answered prayer isn't everything working out all the time. An answered prayer is, you need to be aware of this. You need to look at this. I often say that visioning is a beautiful thing. Visioning for what you desire and what is aligned with your soul possibilities is a beautiful thing. And I teach all kinds of workshops on that, or I did in person before. I do have an online version of what I used to teach, one portion of it anyway, called Sacred Soul Visioning. If you're interested, send me a message I'd be happy to share that with information with you. It's wonderful to do at the end of the year for the new year. But if you aren't pausing to prepare to receive your prayer or your vision or the work you've been doing, it's going to seem like it's that much further away. You have to be, clear. You need to have your foundational beliefs in place. You need to be aligned with the potential within you and the possibilities you're trying to draw in. So, okay. Another thing I wanted to say as we get started here is you may see some more glitching here on my video. When I do these videos at home, I now have a green screen when I have a Zoom background where I'm not kind of floating, actually this is pretty good. Typically you wouldn't be able to see my hand right now. So, hey, working better than the other video. And I also recognize the sound quality isn't that great over Zoom. I've been told that. I'm working on that. So this whole offering videos for me has been a work in progress. I started with an intention in my heart the beginning of 2020, before we all went into this crazy, intense, transformational ride together. My soul knew, obviously, and wanted to be of support. And so I started these videos, and I just show up with willingness and a whole lot of learning as I go, and a whole lot of practicing my own self-care, because I'll be honest, whenever I do a video, I go through this human experience of doubt and what did I say? Oh, I didn't say that right. No, I speak so fast and I missed words and I got the dates wrong and all that stuff. Well, really, I invite you just to learn from watching me make my mistakes. Give yourself permission to make mistakes too. Give yourself to show up just as you are and learn. It's so interesting in our society. We all want to do our best, but we don't give permission for the hard stuff and becoming our best, which is falling down, making mistakes, looking silly. Got to be willing to do that, right? So, anyway, enough about that. Let's shift in to meditation. The moon's in Gemini, loquacious. You know, Gemini energy that we get to borrow on this full moon. We want to talk about it. We have a lot to say, right? So I'm going to try to get right to the meditation because I have a lot to unfold for you in terms of reflections, inviting you to turn within and reflect. So before we get going, I want to just light a candle and drop us, myself included, into a reflective state. So I invite you right now, if you want to pause the video and go get your own candle. And so whenever you're watching this video, we light a candle just for the calling in sacredness, claiming this as sacred and holy time together. Whether you're lighting a candle to reflect the returning of the light on winter solstice, or you are lighting a candle to honor the illuminated full moon, to honor the light within you, to honor your own soul wisdom. For me, lighting a candle is my number one spiritual tool for so many ways. And at the end, if I remember, sometimes I go off into just a flow of whatever wants to come, and I forget what my logic intention is. But I'll invite us to blow out our candles and let go of whatever we are letting go of with this meditation. Put that down there. And now let us drop in for some time of inner reflection, connecting to our soul wisdom, being present to not only the full moon, but this year that we've just grown through. It was an intense one, wasn't it? A lot of intense transformational, transformational energy. See how I talk and I leave words out? I expect you get them, right? My intuitive friends understand. But it was all purposeful, sculpting us, curating, molding us, bringing forth our potential, activating potential, illuminating our purpose, perhaps even clearer. I know, I'll just say this and then I'm going to stop talking. Gemini moon. All my Gemini friends out there are Gemini moon people. Give me a shout out on that, right? Words just flow. But see, now I've lost the space. Okay. Letting it go, which is the theme of this video. Let's just drop in, shall we? No more words until my soul wants to talk. Here we go. So just allowing yourself to drop inward, to bring your attention into your inner world, to bring your human awareness to this being that you are, occupying this body, to befriend your body, to take that awareness and expand it with compassion and honoring and curiosity. Notice how you're breathing in this moment. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Notice your energy. I talked about in the full moon video, which was not just unique to this time, but I think again expanded as this end of the year was really a culmination of all we just grew through, all we experienced in 2021. And so you may feel exhausted, but also energized. If you're watching this around the full moon, that's what the full moon can do. It can energize us and just light up all the circuitry in our minds. Everything needs attention all at once. Mhm. And the exhaustion can come from the experience of this 2021 overarching energy of Saturn square Uranus, hard lessons, intense focus on old, shifting to the new, not knowing what the new is just yet. But this sort of, as I spoke to before, the wanting to move forward, gas, put on the gas pedal, put on the brake, back and forth, stop and start. A lot of tugging in our inner world, wanting to shift and feeling stuck at the same time. Exhausting. Just notice what you notice. I've spoken a lot about grief because grief shows up whenever life as we knew it is no longer the same. It's not just the death of an individual, which there has been a lot of that. I know a lot of friends personally who are dealing with recent loss of loved ones. There is the end of relationships. There is the end of relationship with who we used to be and not knowing yet who we are emerging. There are transitions with jobs and all kinds of things that we witnessed in the external world that we share. The greatest fear we all have, a collective fear we all share, is the fear of the unknown. And yet, the unknown is where possibilities grow. And so, in the human experience, fear gets triggered because things don't seem to be how we want them to be. Fear gets triggered in uncertainty and when we don't know what's next. This is where, in our spiritual practice, we need to return back to our connection with soul, back to the essence of our soul, our being, which I always say we came in from love as love, and to return to love. And in this moment, just let that be the filter you look through. As you breathe into your body, how much fear are you holding? Where do you notice it? Do you feel constricted anywhere in your body? Do you feel tight or like you're bracing or holding? I imagine most of you do. In fact, I just had this image of the roller coaster ride we've just been on and the bracing of another unknown drop. How far will we drop? Where are we going with this roller coaster ride? And that's fear. Love and trust is like arms up when you do that on the roller coaster with trust, knowing that whatever is in front of you, you will be okay. And then you can surrender and actually enjoy the ride, even though in the human experience, it can feel really scary. So breathing into your body and noticing that fear, have compassion for the parts of you that got alarmed with everything that you've moved through this year. All the scary events, all the alarming news, all of the division, Love wants to connect. Love wants to heal. Love wants to find a way. So let's breathe in together into some unconditional love. Unconditional love is what we come in with. It's what our Creator offers us. And if you're still wondering, what does that feel like or look like? If you have a fur baby, they are our teachers of unconditional love. I often say that cats and dogs, or any of our furry friends, they don't come in to learn lessons. They come in with the purpose of just offering love, being teachers of unconditional love, and also teachers of being in the present. They teach us so much, don't they? Or a newborn baby, pure love. So now just get in touch with that feeling of unconditional love and welcome it inward. If you want to open your arms and put your palms up and breathe in and allow yourself, give way, feel, sense, imagine being showered in the energy of unconditional love. Breathing out fear, breathing in love. If it helps, some people like to imagine a warm, beautiful light coming in. For those of you who are more visual, or a waterfall of light. But just imagine your body now saturated in the energy of love, unconditional love, dissolving all fear, allowing you to be very present with all that arises with love. Extending that love to your body, this vehicle that your soul lives in, your home. And breathe into your heart to really bring awareness to being at home in your heart, safe, held, and supported. And now just allow some reflections to come. And you can do this a couple of ways. I don't know what I'm going to say yet. But you can just go with this and allow your spontaneous knowing to arise. Or you could pause the video and get your journal and write your responses. Either way, your choice. But stay connected to this relaxed, centered, flowing love state that we are cultivating together. What was the greatest lesson that you learned in 2021? And I invite you to look at that in terms of yourself, not I learned that so-and-so needs to change this or that. Bring it to yourself. Everything in the external is a reflection of us anyway. So what did you personally learn in 2021 about yourself, about your life, about your patterning, about your soul essence? Next reflection. What conditioned pattern? Remember, conditioned patterns are the things we learn when we're children to cope. There are coping strategies, not authentically who we are, but a way of being in the world to try to get our needs met in an inauthentic way. What pattern was on repeat in 2021 for you? You kept seeing yourself engaged in this pattern over and over again. That old way of doing or being or thinking. What pattern was on fully activated on repeat for you? And this was purposeful. I believe that we, our soul, God, creator, however you connect, was showing us over and over and over again, individually and collectively, what is no longer working. And we're not focusing on the external world, we're focusing on this inner world right now, because that is our contribution. We can't expect the world to change in ways that we're not willing to change. So what pattern was on that repeat? Pattern or patterns? I know I had a few, I have a few looking at. Would not let me go until I acknowledged, aha, these need to shift. Okay, next reflection. Where were you surprised by a strength you didn't know you had until it was needed? Where were you surprised by a strength or strengths that you didn't even know you had until they were needed? And what are they? What strengths were you aware of that were cultivated and activated through this challenging year? Strengths are, I think, also like our spiritual muscles that get flexed when we need them. There's a quote that comes to mind right now. I think Eleanor Roosevelt said it. You never know how strong a woman is. Oh, no, sorry. It's coming out. Women are like tea bags. You never know how strong they are until they're in a little bit of hot water. Well, we were all in a lot of hot water. We were in the hot water of boiling transformation, steeping our soul wisdom, steeping our soul medicine for the purpose of contribution to the collective unfolding. So claim your strengths. Where have you transformed? Or how have you transformed from all that you grew through? Now, I always make this distinction. When life is as complicated as it has been, with all these transitions and changes, when life changes, we change. You can't help it. Now, changing just means something's different. Transformation means that we are different. So how are you different now? In a way, and also transformation speaks to, for me, emerging more of your soul essence and possibilities and potential. So how did you transform? In what ways? What is different? How are you different? Next reflection. This may take some doing and some time to sit with it and allow images to flow and show you if you can't find them yourself. But what gifts and or blessings came out of your personal struggle, your personal challenges, the circumstances that you were facing and maybe still are facing? What gifts and or blessings can you claim? Can you see? Can you acknowledge? When we shift our attention to find the gifts and the blessings, that is the strongest medicine. That and gratitude, giving thanks for the blessings. But it's like it goes right to where we were wounded or where old wounds opened or where we were struggling and where we were hurting. And it's just this balm, this reminder, this soul connection with love of there, you're okay. This was purposeful. You're okay. And this beautiful blessing has been birthed out of this struggle. We need to harvest those blessings. Okay, last reflection, I think. With all that you grew through in this year, all that you learned, all the strengths that were activated and the gifts and blessings received, what is your vision for next year? What is the vision of the you emerging, the more of the authentic nature, soul nature of you emerging next year? Maybe you have an image. Imagine, if you will, or for those of you who can image, coming out of the chrysalis of 2021 and emerging anew into 2022 or whatever year you're listening to this. It's going to apply for any end of the year review. But imagine, and also I want to invite you to stay with this image too, because for the feeling of it, coming out of a chrysalis, it's not like you immediately fly. You ever watched a butterfly coming out of the chrysalis? It's struggle and effort. And then there's this resting period as the wings dry before they can fly. But I invite you now just to imagine, yes, we're coming out of the chrysalis of 2021. And during this slowed down time of winter and really activating that on winter solstice, the shortest day and the longest night, to let our wings dry. Whew, I just got emotional about that. To rest in the stillness, in the darkness, recovering from what we just grew through collectively and what we were incubating in our hearts and souls during this dark time. The seeds we planted and scattered through the terrain we moved through. Not this, this needs to go, but this, sprinkling these seeds of possibilities wherever we went and whenever we held intention. It's not too late to set the intention for claiming vision. What is the opposite of what no longer works, and how do you vision it differently? And so imagining yourself coming out of the chrysalis and resting and trusting there is a vision that has been growing inside of you. There has been purpose in all you moved through and lived through and grew through and experienced, as hard as it was. There are gifts and there are blessings, and all is well. So just imagine now, before we wrap up, imagine, sense, or feel a connection to the new you, the next version of you, the evolved you, the one that has grown through, evolved, and reclaimed more of your beautiful soul potential. What's on that person's heart and soul to contribute to the world as purpose? What's in that vision that is yours, your soul desires, that you have been prepared for? Claim it. I think that winter solstice, if you're watching this again on winter solstice, it's a perfect time to do this reflection, because for me, winter solstice is our true new year. I don't think it's just for me. I think it's actually a real thing. That when the calendar got changed, it got changed to January 1st. But anyway, the new year, the soul new year, let's say, begins on winter solstice. It's time where the end of the year that we just grew through offers us a bountiful buffet of gifts and blessings and lessons and blessings, lesson and blessing, and so much to harvest, the sacred harvest, I call it, to feast on as we grow even more of the potential in the darkness and the seeds that we've planted in our being and in our world, until the returning of the light returning and inviting that growth on the inner. And we will be called forward at the right time to step in with that cultivated potential, that cultivated vision. My wish for you is you take this time to vision, aligned with your soul, honoring your journey, and giving thanks in advance for what is yet to come. And so you may open your eyes. I wish I had said that directly to you, and maybe I'll just say it again without crying. I got very emotional there at the end. And that is another, not just the full moon, which can draw forth our emotions, but for me, when I'm visioning for those higher potentials for all of us, I don't feel like they're my tears. I feel like it is, they're holy tears. And so my wish for you is that you honor the journey you just moved through. Everything that happened to you in 2021, all that you were struggling with and challenged by, trust you were cultivating something great. You were co-creating something miraculous, and you were preparing and being prepared to receive. All that your soul desires and all that you are worthy of. Okay. Have a good cry, clear more if you need to, and then punctuate it. I think one of the best things to do and reviewing is to cry. Tears are holy. Cry, and they water the seeds of potential and your seeds that you've planted of the possibilities you're trying to grow. And then let's just finish up with some gratitude. Give thanks in advance for all you're desiring to move into in this following year for yourself. And this is where I do want to invite you to expand for the collective. What is your greatest wish and desire for us as the collective, the community that shares this world, the earth, give thanks for that vision happening in advance. Give thanks and prepare to receive. We did it. All right. I think I did this at the last, my video of the end of the year last year for 2020. I think I just started crying because it feels like relief. So thanks for being with me on this journey. Thanks for watching this video. I would love to hear anything you took away, anything that opened with your reflections, and all my best to you. I'm honored that some of you have been following my videos and are with me on this journey. Let me hear from you. Comment below, like if you feel called to, subscribe if you haven't, and pass me a Kleenex if you can, and share this video if you feel called. Remember, you can watch it for the full moon, the last full moon of the year here in December, or on Winter Solstice, or at the end of the month, to prepare yourself for the new year, or whenever you need it. And I hope you can feel my heart, my soul, my love for you, and my great desire that all of us nurture our soul potential for the greatest contribution to this beautiful gift of a life we have in this beautiful world. I'm gonna go again, that we share. All right, I better go and get a tissue and have a good cry and get ready to welcome in my powerful vision. Much love. See you next time.